Meghan collapses with damn silence. King Charles did not fall into the blackmailer's trap.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel.
So far, this week has gone by pretty smoothly, and I'm here with everybody to talk a little bit about royal family matters. Of course, there are still some trolls out there trying to launch some nasty PR campaigns to make the royal family members look bad, but it seems now the game has really changed. As we talked about earlier this week, Meghan is planning to extort up to £1 billion from the king. And even though most of us do not believe that's possible, obviously there's a lot of smoke and mirrors all around this issue. It looks like Meghan may be studying up on how to be an extortionist, and if it's true, she is really stepping into some dangerous territory. I have been impressed with her snake-like ability to slither into places that she doesn't belong, places that the rest of us cannot access, and also places that wouldn't have been anything we would consider trying. Meghan doesn't care about other people. She just uses people up and then she throws them away without any remorse whatsoever. Once she sucked them dry, she doesn't need them anymore. And like a snake, it seems like Meghan's bite harbors some venom, or at the very least, some deadly bacteria. Just look at the long list of people she has left in her wake. And the dim-witted Prince Harry got himself all tangled up in her web. Now, Harry's help and continued participation might not be necessary anymore. A divorce seems to be in Meghan's best interests now. At least for now, Meghan can convince herself that she has succeeded in her attacks against the royal family. When you think about it, Meghan's timing is perfect, and her behavior is often extreme and intense in its obvious power and effect over the firm and the royal family, and it seems even Parliament too. And just think about the way that she doesn't care about conventions or traditions, or the harm she even causes to other people. That shows that either she is a brilliant, although insane strategist, or it could be that we're giving Meghan too much credit. She's not the one orchestrating all this, she's merely a pawn. Ever since Meghan Markle became a public figure, I have been following her. I read what she said and I've listened to her talk in interviews. If you ask me, from what I have seen, Meghan has shown herself to be of average intelligence. She is no genius. Now, she does have the ability to get herself places she has no business being, and she can manipulate situations, even to the point of making herself look dumb. But she has not shown that she's really brilliant. I'm just still not convinced that Meghan Markle has the intellectual capacity to develop this diabolical plan to bring down the royal family, and especially Harry. So the more I think about it, the more I think that there is someone behind this, and it's not Meghan. If anything, she might be the figurehead of this whole onslaught. She goes where they tell her to go. And I suspect she provides the front, and she's the big pawn in this dangerous and perhaps even deadly game. But once Meghan has served her purpose, she'll be useless. So I've got a couple of questions. Who or what entity is behind these attacks? And another question would be, why? What is their endgame here? What are they trying to do? Even if they are paid what they demand, blackmailers usually don't stop. Now, if Meghan ends up asking for money not to publish her book, then I think they should bring her up on criminal charges of blackmail. Blackmail is a very dangerous game. Now, the Queen apparently did refer to her as a blackmailer one time. And it's also a game where people will do anything to get rid of the problem. Nobody likes a blackmailer. Just think about the old novel, Charles Augustus Milverton, by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. A blackmailer is killed by somebody whose life he planned to ruin. The royal family is going to handle this problem one way or another. What they know about Meghan has still not been made public. You know she's got a whole stack of skeletons in that closet. And if Meghan were paid off, then she would have to remain silent. And we know she's not going to do that. She can't keep her mouth shut, which makes paying her off absolutely pointless. For example, if they dared to oppose her marriage to Harry, Meghan Markle threatened to expose the royal family as a bunch of racists. And then after they got married, well, that's exactly what she did anyway. She would do the same in this situation. All those interviews mean that she's going to mess up because she is conniving, but she doesn't understand that other people are a lot smarter than she gives us credit for. But I don't believe anybody in the royal family is going to put up with her in any way, shape, or form due to her treatment of their mother and their family members. She is one of the nastiest people in the world. She needs a scapegoat for her failure, and of course her scapegoat is going to be the royal family, Harry, the UK as a country, and probably even others. She is a professional victim, and she is stuck in a lifetime of going after the British monarchy. I do believe that they need to charge Meghan with the crime of harassment when it comes to the other members of the family. It resulted in death threats to them. I mean, my goodness. Forget about lawyers. The police need to be called for this one. Intimidation is the only thing that's really scary to these types of people. Police, criminal charges, trial, and prison. That's going to get her to listen up. With or without the royal family, prison is where Meghan needs to be. And they need to charge her with crimes of extortion. She already published some nasty stuff in her interview with The Cut, in which she stated that she never signed any NDA. That was a threat. I mean, Meghan Markle said that in print, so it's not like she can claim she never said that. She's just made so many mistakes, the most obvious being clapping back at the Queen over the word royal. I mean, there is no more high society for Meghan to participate in. Most high society everywhere wants nothing to do with her or Harry. If you keep screwing people over in such a public way, then the end result is nobody wants anything to do with you. Meghan believing that nobody's ever going to put her in her place, how mistaken was she? If I were her, I would always be looking over my shoulder expecting somebody to do something to me after all I did. I don't think that anybody has ever witnessed such a long campaign of foolishness and stupidity and selfish behavior. I mean, trashing and destroying every opportunity given. But now she's becoming increasingly desperate. Nobody wants her around them or their friends. The door is being slammed shut in her face all around. Just think about the Kevin Costner event with the microphone. I mean, these days, anytime Meghan gets a microphone in her hand, it's because Harry gave it to her. Not that he has any say in it, of course. Whatever Meghan puts in print about the royal family is going to be lies. We already know that. Just like the lies she told during the Oprah Winfrey interview, the docu-series, all the lies that she told Harry to put in Spare, etc. But she doesn't really care because all she wants is money. If they were real, Meghan Markle would sell her own children. Once she packs all those lies into a book, she knows that she is done when it comes to the royal family and her title is going to disappear. Meghan does not have that kind of power, and she has no credibility left after the last few years. Now, maybe her book is going to sell at the start because people are going to be curious to see what's in it, but soon enough, it's going to fade away into obscurity, just like what we saw with Harry's book. And everything people are saying about Meghan's book, well, it's already been said about Spare before it came out and nothing happened. I also remember that Meghan wanted to make some edits to Spare before it was published. I'm sure she was changing those lies yet again, and I'm glad the publishers told her no. And I don't believe the king is going to pay her a dime to keep her silent. It's not his problem. And paying her is not going to make her shut up. Come on, it's only going to work until that money runs out, and then she's going to come back demanding more. Harry needs to tell everybody the truth about the invisible children, and then the royal family should just stand back and let things fall where they may. And Meghan's going to end up being the big loser in all of this. It's not going to be the royal family anyway. I predict that sooner or later, though, Meghan's going to mess with the wrong person and she's going to end up in jail. If you ask me, she and Doria are sociopaths or maybe even psychopaths. And Harry, a drug addict, invited these people into his life. I mean, these are a couple of people that no decent person wants to interact with. And look at what has happened to his family and his country as a result of that. Doria and Meghan have been allowed to run amok, and now Harry looks like the biggest idiot. Alright guys, that's all the time that we have today, but please keep those comments coming and we're going to talk about more of them in the next video tomorrow. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you preferred our video, don't be afraid to like and share with your friends and relatives who would love it anytime you want.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.